Welcome, dear soul. In today's world, we are constantly pushed to do more, chase harder, and control everything around us, only to find ourselves tired, anxious, and disconnected. But what if the key to everything you've been searching for is not in holding on tighter, but in letting go? In this video, we explore the timeless Buddhist wisdom of surrender, the path of trusting the universe, aligning with your inner peace, and allowing life to unfold with grace. Through 7 powerful lessons, you will learn how to stop forcing, start flowing, and open the door to the miracles already on their way to you. So find a quiet place, take a deep breath, and let this be a moment of stillness, clarity, and sacred remembering. Let us begin. Lesson 1: The universe responds to your energy, not your struggle. In the teachings of the Buddha, we are reminded again and again that peace is not found through struggle, but through awareness and right alignment with the truth of the present moment. Yet, in modern life, many of us find ourselves caught in an endless cycle of striving, attempting to control every detail of our lives, the outcome, the timing, how others respond. The more we tighten our grip, the more life slips from our hands. We plan every step meticulously, believing that effort alone will deliver fulfillment. We convince ourselves, if I just try harder, push longer, and never let go, everything will finally fall into place. But such a path, rooted in attachment and resistance, leads only to exhaustion and disconnection. It is like rowing against the current, believing we can control the river. But the Dharma offers another way, the path of surrender. This is not weakness. This is not defeat. This is wisdom. It is the sacred art of letting go and trusting in the deeper intelligence of life. Surrender does not mean inaction. It means relinquishing control over what cannot be controlled. It means doing what is necessary, but without clinging, without grasping. In Buddhism, we understand that the universe is not chaotic, but profoundly responsive. It listens not to our words, but to the silent frequency of our energy, what we call our vibration. This vibration arises from our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, and it radiates outward into all that we experience. When your mind is at peace, when your heart is filled with trust and gratitude, your vibration becomes a quiet offering to the cosmos. In this stillness, the universe reflects your energy back to you. Just as a still pond reflects the moon perfectly, the calm mind reflects reality clearly and draws blessings without effort. But if your energy is one of desperation, filled with anxiety, fear, and the constant pursuit of what is not yet here, then your vibration becomes clouded. You are no longer in harmony with the natural flow of life. Instead of inviting abundance, you send out a signal of lack, and the universe echoes that back. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from craving and clinging. When we desperately chase after outcomes, we are vibrating not with trust, but with attachment. The universe, impartial and wise, reflects not our wants but our inner state. If your inner state is rooted in not enough, that is what life will seem to offer you, not because it is cruel, but because it mirrors your perception. So what is the way forward? First, step back, return to stillness, align your energy with your deepest values, peace, patience, compassion, and presence. Trust that what is meant for you cannot be taken away, and what is not meant for you will not stay. This is the way of the wise. This is the way of surrender. When your energy shifts from desperation to trust, the universe responds, not immediately perhaps, but certainly. You begin to notice synchronicities, gentle signs, and open doors where there were once walls. Life becomes softer, more fluid. You are no longer forcing, you are flowing. You are not being asked to abandon your goals, but to hold them lightly, Release the need to force them. Release the need to control every outcome. As the Zen proverb teaches, let go, or be dragged. When you let go, you are not giving up, you are rising up. You are aligning with the deeper current of life. When you act from calmness, speak from clarity, and live with trust, the universe does not ignore you, it joins you. Let this be your practice, to surrender your desperation, and return to your breath, to align not with fear, but with faith, to know that everything you seek is already on its way, not because you chase it, but because you are now ready to receive it. Lesson 2. You only block what you try to control. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha reminds us, those who grasp at nothing can hold everything. This simple truth reveals a profound teaching that which we try to control often slips through our hands. Like sand gripped too tightly, the harder we cling, the more we lose. The very act of trying to control creates the tension that blocks the natural flow of life. As human beings, we have a tendency to cling to outcomes, to relationships, to timelines. We create plans, predict the future, and strive to bend the world to our will. But in doing so, we create resistance, a spiritual friction between ourselves and the present moment. Buddhism teaches that suffering arises from this very resistance. Imagine holding a delicate flower in your hand. If you cup your palm gently, it rests peacefully, but if you close your fist around it, you crush what you were trying to preserve. In much the same way, when we try to control life, we suffocate its sacred unfolding. The need for control often comes from fear, fear of uncertainty, fear of pain, fear of loss. But clinging to control doesn't remove uncertainty. It removes freedom. It traps us in anxiety, rigid thinking, and reactive living. In trying to prevent what we fear, we often invite it in. When we release the need to control, we do not fall into chaos. Instead, we enter the flow. The Taoists call it the way. Buddhists call it Dharma. It is the natural, intelligent rhythm of existence, and it knows far better than we do how life should unfold. Letting go of control does not mean becoming passive. It means acting with presence and wisdom, taking mindful steps, but releasing our attachment to the outcome. We do what is ours to do, and trust the rest to the unfolding of the universe. This is the middle way, not passivity, not obsession, but balance. Control can also be internal. Many of us try to manage every thought and emotion that arises, believing we must constantly be in command of our inner world. But this, too, creates resistance. Emotions are like weather, passing clouds in the sky of awareness. Trying to suppress or control them only strengthens their grip. The Buddhist path invites us not to fight the storm, but to observe it, to breathe through it, and to let it pass. When we stop trying to control everything, our future, others' opinions, or emotions, something beautiful happens. We open, we soften, we create space. And in that space, miracles happen. It is in this openness that new possibilities can arise, possibilities that were blocked by our rigid expectations. Just as a clenched fist cannot receive a gift, a heart locked in control cannot welcome unexpected blessings. When we surrender, we become receptive. Remember, the universe often has a plan far wiser than ours, but that plan can only reach us if we stop forcing and start listening. In meditation, we practice this surrender again and again. We sit, we breathe, we release the need to manage, fix, or change the moment. We simply allow it, and slowly, the grip of control begins to loosen. We find that the peace we were trying so hard to control into existence has been here all along, waiting for us to stop and receive it. Let this be your intention. To do what you must with mindfulness, but let go of how it must turn out. to walk your path with effort, but not with strain. To trust that life is not something to dominate, but something to dance with. The river does not need to push to reach the sea, it flows with grace. So may you, too, flow in trust, not in control. Lesson 3: Silence speaks louder than noise. In a world saturated with noise, from constant notifications, hurried thoughts, and endless commentary, silence has become a forgotten refuge. Yet in the teachings of the Buddha, silence is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is where wisdom arises. The Buddha often remained silent when asked questions that came from confusion or ego, not because he had no answer, but because the silence itself was the teaching. He understood that true insight cannot always be spoken, it must be felt, discovered within. Silence is not merely the absence of words, it is the stillness behind them. It is the clear sky behind the storm clouds of thought. Our minds are constantly chattering, analyzing, comparing, anticipating. This inner dialogue can become so loud that we lose connection with the present moment, the only moment where life truly exists. When we are caught in mental noise, we are pulled away from our center. We live in stories about the past or anxieties about the future, but we miss the sacred now. But silence invites us back. When we sit in silence, whether in meditation or simply in mindful stillness, we begin to hear the subtle voice of wisdom, the voice that is always speaking, but so often drowned out by noise. It is the voice of inner knowing, of truth, of connection with all that is. Consider the image of a calm, undisturbed lake. When its surface is still, it reflects the world around it with perfect clarity, but when agitated by wind and movement, the reflection becomes distorted. Our mind is the same. In silence, it reflects truth. In noise, it reflects confusion. We are often taught that to be heard, we must speak louder, but Buddhism teaches us that true power is not in shouting, but in presence. A person rooted in silence radiates a calm that speaks louder than words ever could. Their energy communicates peace. Their stillness becomes a mirror for others to see themselves more clearly. Silence also protects our energy. In the face of chaos, conflict, or misunderstanding, choosing silence is not weakness, it is mastery. It says, I do not need to match your noise. I choose my peace. This is the way of the mindful warrior, to act only when needed, and to rest in stillness when possible. The modern world equates silence with absence, but in spiritual practice, silence is presence, the presence of awareness, of mindfulness, of truth. When we embrace silence, we are not disconnecting from life, we are reconnecting with it more deeply. Silence is not isolation, it is intimacy with the moment. In the monastery, monks rise early before the sun and sit in noble silence. This silence is not emptiness, but communion. It is a practice of deep listening to the breath, to the heartbeat, to the universe. From that silence arises compassion, clarity, and profound understanding. To cultivate silence is to create space for the universe to speak, for intuition to arise, for peace to return. When was the last time you were truly silent, not just with your mouth, but with your thoughts? Try sitting quietly today for just 5 minutes. Do not try to fix anything, just observe, just be. Listen to what arises when you stop striving. The stillness may feel unfamiliar at first, even uncomfortable, but over time, you will discover that within it lies the doorway to everything you seek. Let this become a sacred practice, to withdraw from noise, not out of avoidance, but out of reverence for peace. To listen more deeply to yourself, to others, to the silence beneath all things. To remember that in stillness, You are never alone. You are one with the universe. Silence is not empty. It is the fullness of presence. It is the song of the soul beneath the noise of the world. And it speaks, always, in truth. Lesson 4. Trusting divine timing. In our modern lives, we are conditioned to believe that everything must happen now. We seek instant results, instant answers, instant gratification. But the teachings of the Buddha remind us, everything arises in its own time, when the conditions are right, not when we demand it, not when we grow impatient, but when the flow of life is ready to give it birth. This is the wisdom of trusting timing, a profound spiritual practice that requires faith, patience, and humility. The universe does not move according to our calendar. It does not follow the deadlines we create in our minds. Just as a flower blooms only when it is ready, not when we yell at the bud to open, so too does life unfold at its own perfect rhythm. When we force things to happen before their time, we disturb the natural flow. We create stress, frustration, and disappointment. We think we are accelerating the journey, but often, we are only delaying what would have come effortlessly, had we waited with grace. Buddhism teaches that craving leads to suffering. Wanting something before it is ready, or fearing it will never come, creates turbulence in the mind. But when we replace craving with trust, when we allow each moment to arrive in its own season, we find peace. Think of a seed planted in the earth. You cannot dig it up each day to check its progress and still expect it to grow. You water it, tend to it, and trust the process. The same applies to your dreams, your healing, your transformation. You plant the intention, act with mindfulness, and let go of the when. Trusting timing does not mean doing nothing. It means doing your part with care and allowing the universe to do the rest. It is a balance between effort and surrender, a dance between action and stillness. You walk the path, but you do not run ahead of it. Often, the delays we resist are the spaces where life is preparing us. The waiting is not punishment, it is preparation. The pause is where wisdom is born, where strength is cultivated, and where clarity deepens. Have you ever noticed that what once seemed like a delay later proved to be perfect? That what felt like rejection was actually redirection. In hindsight, we often see that life had a plan far better than ours. We simply couldn't see the full picture at the time. This is why the Buddha emphasized mindfulness, staying fully present with what is, rather than getting lost in what we wish would be. When we are mindful, we stop measuring time by achievement and begin to honor the sacred unfolding of each moment. Even suffering, in Buddhist view, has its own season. Pain comes and goes like the wind. If we cling to it, we prolong it. If we resist it, we fight against life. But if we trust it as part of our path, as something that is shaping us, we can meet it with gentleness and learn from it. Trusting divine timing means saying, even though I do not see the whole path, I walk with faith. Even though I do not know when it will come, I know it is coming. Even though I am not where I want to be, I am exactly where I need to be. Patience is not laziness. Patience is strength. It is the strength to remain still while a storm passes. It is the strength to keep watering your garden even before the flowers bloom. Let this be your practice. To release the need for control over time. To surrender the urgency in your chest. To trust that the universe has already received your prayer and is working quietly, silently, perfectly to deliver it. There is no rush on the path of awakening. What is meant for you will arrive, not early, not late, but exactly on time. Lesson 5. You attract what you believe you deserve. One of the most subtle yet transformative teachings in Buddhism is this: your external world is a reflection of your internal world. That which you believe about yourself shapes what you receive. The universe responds not merely to your desires, but to your beliefs about whether or not you are truly worthy of those desires. The Buddha taught, "What we think, we become." This is not metaphor, it is law. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever seeds you plant, of doubt, of fear, of worthiness, of trust, will grow into the landscape of your life. What you believe you deserve determines what you allow yourself to receive. If deep within, you believe you are not good enough, that belief becomes an energetic wall. No matter how hard you work, no matter how many prayers you speak, that wall keeps the blessings out. You may chase opportunities, but sabotage them when they arrive. You may crave love, but reject it when it appears. Why? Because your inner vibration does not match the gift. Buddhism teaches us to look inward, to become aware of the beliefs we hold, especially those rooted in fear and self-judgment. These internal stories shape not just how we see the world, but how the world responds to us. If you believe that you are unworthy of peace, the mind will not rest. If you believe you are unworthy of love, the heart will push it away. If you believe success is not meant for you, you will unconsciously avoid it. This is why transformation must begin within. You do not need to become someone else. You only need to remember who you truly are, a being of infinite worth, a vessel of awareness, a child of the universe. Worthiness is not something you earn. It is something you reclaim. Start by observing your inner dialogue. What do you say to yourself when things go wrong? When someone praises you? When an opportunity arises? Do you receive it with gratitude or reject it out of discomfort? To attract peace, abundance, and joy, you must begin to vibrate at their frequency, and that begins with belief, not arrogance, not entitlement, but the quiet confidence that says, "I am worthy of this. I am ready. I open myself to receive." Buddhism reminds us that when we stop clinging to negative self-concepts, we free ourselves to grow. Karma is not fate, it is action. It is cause and effect. When your inner cause is self-love and belief, the effect is abundance. When your inner cause is shame and doubt, the effect is lack. Shift your course. Tend to your garden. Affirm to yourself, even when it feels unfamiliar. I deserve peace. I deserve healing. I deserve to be met with kindness, support, and opportunity. I deserve the life I dream of, not because I am perfect, but because I am enough. Let this be your new practice. To notice when your inner voice dims your light. To pause and replace judgment with compassion. To believe in your inherent worth, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. And know this, as your belief shifts, your energy shifts, and as your energy shifts, so does your world. The universe responds not to words, but to vibration. It hears your silence, it feels your belief, and it mirrors back what you truly accept as possible. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are aligned with. You attract what you believe you are worthy of. Let yourself believe in your worth. Let yourself receive. Lesson 6. Calmness is a manifestation in itself. In a society driven by urgency and noise, calmness is often misunderstood. People confuse it with idleness, or think it is something to be achieved after the hard work is done. But in Buddhist understanding, calmness is not a byproduct, it is a cause. It is not the reward after the journey, it is the path itself. The Buddha taught, "Peace comes from within, do not seek it without." Calmness is not laziness, it is power, the subtle, grounded, unshakable kind. It is the state of being that allows you to think clearly, act wisely, and live harmoniously with the rhythm of the universe. In fact, it is one of the highest forms of manifestation because it creates the energetic space in which good things arise effortlessly. When you are calm, your thoughts are aligned, your breath deepens, your intuition strengthens. You become a mirror, reflecting clarity instead of chaos. Just as a still pond allows the moon to be seen clearly, a still mind allows reality to unfold naturally. Many believe that manifestation requires constant movement. Chase the goal, visualize harder, speak affirmations louder, but these actions, if done in a state of panic or need, block the very abundance you seek. Why? Because the vibration is rooted in fear, not trust. Calmness, on the other hand, is a vibration of trust. It says to the universe, I do not need to rush, I do not need to beg. I trust that what is for me will come. When you are calm, you are not pushing the river, you are flowing with it. Calmness is not the absence of action, but the presence of conscious, purposeful action. You still move, you still create, you still pursue your dreams, but the energy behind your action is rooted in peace, not desperation. This is why in meditation, we do not strive. We sit, we breathe, we allow. From this stillness arises wisdom, clarity, and inspired movement. It is from calmness that we make our best decisions, speak our most healing words, and take the most effective steps. When we are rushed, we miss the signs. When we are calm, we notice everything, the synchronicities, the opportunities, the gentle whispers of guidance that surround us always. Calmness is also what allows you to detach from the outcome. You are not waiting with tension, but with peace. You know that your worth is not defined by what comes or how fast it comes. You rest in the knowing that all things arise when the time is right. Buddhist teachings often emphasize equanimity, the ability to remain steady in both gain and loss, joy and sorrow. This inner steadiness is what allows the heart to remain open even when the mind does not understand. And from this open space, life flows freely. Let this be your practice. To prioritize calmness over urgency. To respond, not react. To choose stillness when the world demands noise. To return to your breath when your mind races toward fear. For calmness is not just a tool, it is a way of being, a statement to the universe that says, I am ready, I am grounded, I am open. When you live in this space, you attract what resonates with that same energy, peaceful relationships, aligned opportunities, and a sense of joy that does not depend on circumstances. Calmness is the sacred container that holds all your intentions. It is the garden where dreams take root. It is the quiet prayer that says, I trust the timing, I trust the process, I trust myself. Be calm, and let the universe meet you there. Lesson 7. When you let go, you make space for miracles. One of the deepest roots of suffering in Buddhist thought is attachment. We hold on tightly to people, outcomes, beliefs, control, thinking that through grasping, we are securing happiness. But paradoxically, the tighter we cling, the more we suffer, the more we release, the more space we create for life to offer us something greater than we imagined. The Buddha taught, in the sky, there is no track. In the true path, there is no attachment. Letting go is not abandonment. It is wisdom. It is knowing the difference between what is yours to carry and what must be surrendered. It is understanding that forcing life rarely creates peace. Instead, it builds walls. And behind those walls, miracles cannot enter. We live in a culture of hustle, a belief that to get what we want, we must push harder, shout louder, do more. But the Dhamma reminds us, there is another way, the way of letting go, the way of non-attachment, the way of trust. Letting go means releasing the illusion that you are in control of every detail. It means surrendering your timeline, your plan, your expectations, and saying, I trust that the universe knows the way better than I do. It does not mean giving up your dreams. It means loosening your grip so your dreams have the space to grow. Just as a bird cannot fly if your hands are closed around it, your desires cannot soar if you are suffocating them with control. Think of a seed planted in the earth. You do not pull at its roots to make it grow faster. You water it, you tend to it, and you trust nature to do the rest. So too must we care for our lives, taking right action, then releasing attachment to the results. Letting go is also an act of clearing. When you let go of old thoughts, patterns, and fears, you make space for the new. When you release a relationship that no longer serves your growth, you open to one that will. When you let go of needing to know how it will all unfold, you make space for magic to enter. In Buddhist meditation, the breath is a teacher of letting go. Each exhale is a release, a surrender, a reminder that you are safe to empty, and in that emptiness, you are renewed. The breath teaches us that we do not need to hold everything. We can let go, and still, life continues. Letting go is an act of deep trust. Trust that the universe is kind. Trust that what is meant for you will not miss you. Trust that the space you create through surrender will not remain empty. It will be filled with grace. So many of us hold on because we fear loss, but loss is often the opening of something sacred. When we lose what is not meant for us, we gain what is. When we lose our illusions, we meet truth. When we lose our fear, we find freedom. Let this be your practice. To unclench your fists emotionally, mentally, spiritually. To release the past and allow the future to unfold without resistance. To meet the present moment with open arms and an open heart. Letting go is not passive. It is not saying, I don't care. It is saying, I care enough to trust. I care enough to step aside and let the universe guide the way. It is the quiet courage to say, I surrender what I cannot control. I release what no longer serves me. I open to what is coming. And in this opening, miracles happen. When you let go of control, you receive clarity. When you let go of fear, you receive peace. When you let go of expectations, you receive surprise. When you let go of who you thought you had to be, you become who you truly are. Miracles do not come through force. They come through flow, through surrender, through trust. So close your eyes now, take a deep breath, exhale, and in that breath, feel the space you are creating. That space is where the miracle will arrive. Let go, let life, let peace return. As you walk away from this video, may you carry these truths in your heart. You do not have to chase what is meant for you. You do not have to control what is already unfolding. The more you let go, the more space you create for peace, purpose, and abundance to enter. If this message spoke to your soul, we invite you to like, share, and subscribe for more mindful teachings to support your journey. And until we meet again, may you find calm in the chaos, peace in the noise, and deep trust in the timing of your life. Be well, be free, be still.